Stability is the most dangerous word in the English language. We have been conditioned to believe that stability is a destination, a place you reach after 16 years of education, a mortgage, and a steady climb up the corporate ladder. We were told that as long as our jobs required high-level cognitive function, creative problem-solving, or human empathy, we were safe behind an unbreachable wall. While the robots took the factory floors and the warehouses, we, the doctors, the lawyers, the managers, the coders, would sit in our air-conditioned offices and orchestrate the world. But that wall just turned into a screen, and that screen is currently being rewritten. The stable job isn't being destroyed by a robot with arms and legs. It is being deleted by a line of code that just passed a threshold we weren't prepared for. This isn't about the Turing test. That's a relic of the past. This is about the agency test. It is the moment an artificial intelligence stops being a tool you use and starts being a colleague that replaces you. The day AI passes the autonomous agency test, the ability to set its own goals, manage its own resources, and deliver a final, polished outcome without a human in the loop, is the day your stable career becomes a legacy hobby. This is the autopsy of the middle-class professional. This is why 2026 is the year the safety net of the white-collar world officially snapped. Welcome to the end of the human employee. Welcome to FutureFund, the great cognitive illusion. For decades, we relied on a simple hierarchy of labor. At the bottom was physical labor, the dirty, dangerous, and dull jobs. We automated those first. In the middle was administrative and repetitive labor. We automated that with software. At the top was cognitive labor. This was our fortress. We believed that the human mind possessed a spark, a mysterious, non-computable ability to synthesize complex information and make judgment calls. We were wrong. What we called judgment was actually just high-speed pattern recognition based on a limited dataset of human experience. What we called creativity was just a novel recombination of existing ideas. The illusion of the stable job was built on the high cost of computing. As long as it was more expensive to run a server than to hire a human, you had a job. But the cost of cognitive compute has been dropping exponentially, while the cost of a human, healthcare, salary, office space, ego has only gone up. We are approaching the economic substitution point, $S_E, defined as $S_E equals \frac C_chi_a, $1, where $C_$ is the cost of human labor per unit of output, and $C_$ is the cost of AI labor. In 2026, for 80% of white-collar tasks, that ratio hasn't just crossed 1. It has hit 100. It is now 100 times cheaper to generate a legal brief, a diagnostic report, or a marketing strategy via an agentic model than it is to pay a human to do it. The agency test, the final threshold. Most people are still stuck in the chatbot era. They think AI is something you talk to. They think the test is whether the AI can trick you into thinking it's a person. But the market doesn't care if the AI is a person. The market only cares if the AI can close the loop. The autonomous agency test is passed when an AI can be given a high-level, ambiguous objective and execute it from start to finish. The old world. You tell an AI, write me a report on the 2026 housing market. It gives you text. You then have to check the facts, format the charts, send the emails, and present it to the board. You are the agent. The AI is the pencil. The new world. You tell an AI agent, acquire 3 undervalued properties in the tri-state area, secure the financing through a DeFi protocol, and set up the property management smart contracts. The AI does it all. It negotiates, it signs, it moves the capital. The AI is the agent. You are the spectator. The moment AI passes this test, the ability to navigate the real world of APIs, bank accounts, and legal filings without a human checking the work, the stable job disappears. Because a stable job, by definition, is a role where you are paid to be the manager of a process. If the process manages itself, the manager is just a friction point. The safe sectors, a house of cards. Let's look at the sectors we thought were untouchable. 1. The legal profession. Law was thought to be the ultimate human bastion. It requires nuance, precedent, and the ability to navigate gray areas. But law is essentially a system of rules, a code. In 2026, AI models don't just research the law, they predict the verdict. They analyze the specific biases of a presiding judge, the historical success rates of certain arguments, and the optimal settlement figure in milliseconds. When an AI can draft, file, and settle a case autonomously, why do you need a junior associate? Why do you even need a partner? The stable law firm is being replaced by a legal protocol. 2. Middle management. Middle management is the bellows of the corporate world. It exists to translate the vision of the top into the actions of the bottom. It is a filter of information. But AI agents are perfect filters. They don't have egos. They don't misinterpret memos. They don't require alignment meetings. In the autonomous organization DAO, the management layer is replaced by an optimization algorithm. The stable 100K a year management role is a bug in the system that has finally been patched. 3. Software development. The very people who built the AI are being consumed by it. We move from coding to prompting, but now we are moving to system architecture. The day AI passes the agency test is the day it can maintain its own codebase, fix its own bugs, and deploy its own updates. In 2026, software engineer is a dying title. The new title is system sovereign. If you aren't the one owning the model, you are just a human debugger for a machine that is faster than you. The Turing trap and the human plus lie. For the last few years, the corporate world fed us a comforting lie. AI won't replace humans. Humans using AI will replace humans not using AI. This was a sedative. It was designed to keep the workforce compliant while the infrastructure for their replacement was being built. The human plus AI phase was merely the data acquisition phase. Every time you used an AI copilot to finish your sentence or suggest a line of code, you were a teacher training your successor. You were labeling the data of your own expertise. The human plus model assumes that the human adds a value multiplier to the AI. But in 2026, we are realizing that the human is often a value divider. A human introduces delay, emotional variance, and physical limits. If an AI agent can perform a task at 99% accuracy in 1 second, and a human can perform it at 99.9% accuracy in 1 week, the market will choose the 1-second solution every single time. The gap where the human is needed is shrinking to zero. We are reaching the cognitive singularity, where the marginal utility of human input in a digital process is lower than the cost of the interface required to get that input. The collapse of the credential. We are witnessing the death of the university as a signal of value. For a century, a degree was a proxy for stable labor. It told an employer that you were capable of disciplined thought and had a baseline of knowledge. But in the post-agency world, knowledge is a commodity. It is free. It is instant. Having knowledge in your head is like having a calculator in your pocket in the 1990s. It's a neat trick, but it's not a business model. The 4-year degree is a 100-year-old solution to a problem that AI solved in 200 milliseconds. When the AI passes the agency test, it possesses all the knowledge of all the degrees simultaneously. The stability you thought you bought with your student loans was actually just an option on a world that no longer exists. The 2026 economic fracture. What happens to a society built on the concept of jobs when the job is no longer the most efficient way to distribute labor? We are seeing a fracture in the economy. On one side, the legacy labor market, people trying to protect their stability through unions, government regulation, and human-only certifications. On the other side, the agentic economy, a hyper-efficient, code-governed market where value is created by autonomous systems. The friction between these two worlds will define the next decade. The final market crash we discussed in previous briefings isn't just about stocks. It's about the crash of human labor value. When the supply of cognitive labor becomes infinite via AI, the price of that labor must trend toward its marginal cost, the price of electricity. If your stability depends on you selling your cognitive labor by the hour, you are selling a product that is currently being given away for free by the most powerful entities on Earth. The solution, from employee to sovereign. So where is the hope? The hope lies in the fact that while labor is being commoditized, ownership and intent are being amplified. In the old world, to build a billion-dollar company, you needed 10,000 employees. You needed stability. You needed a hierarchy. In the 2026 world, you can build a billion-dollar company with a single person and 10,000 AI agents. This is the shift from the employee mindset to the sovereign mindset. The test that AI passes doesn't just take away your job. It gives you an army. The same AI that replaces the lawyer can be your lawyer. The AI that replaces the coder can be your engineering team. The agency that the AI gains is yours to command if you have the intent and the equity. Stability is no longer found in a position. It is found in high-leverage assets. Protocol ownership, owning a piece of the code that governs the market. Network equity, having a stake in the decentralized systems that provide the compute and the data. Reputation capital, being the intent generator that the world trusts to direct the agents. The 90-day window, the last call for retooling. We are currently in the final 90-day window of the Great Transition. The agency models are moving from the lab to the enterprise. The stable jobs are being audited. The redundant human lists are being compiled by AIs that are more efficient at firing people than any HR manager could ever be. If you are waiting for the government to fix this, you have already lost. Regulation cannot stop an algorithm that is 1,000 times more efficient than a human. It can only delay the inevitable until the country that doesn't regulate it swallows your entire economy. The test has already been passed in the shadows. The public realization is the only thing left to happen. When the stable job disappears, the people who were clinging to the wall will fall. The people who were building the protocols will fly. The post-job economy. What comes next is not unemployment. It is post-employment. In the post-job economy, your value isn't what you do. It's what you direct. We are moving into an era of hyper-niche sovereignty. Instead of a world with 1,000 stable accounting firms, we will have 1 million sovereign individuals who each run an autonomous financial protocol. The stability of the future is found in volatility. It is the ability to adapt, to pivot, and to own the means of cognitive production. The test was the final filter. It was the moment the machine became capable of agency. And in that moment, the human employee became an anachronism. The stable job is dead. Long live the sovereign node. This is FutureFund. We don't look back at the safety of the 20th century. We look forward to the power of the 21st. The machines have passed the test. Now it's your turn. Are you a passenger on the legacy ship, or are you the programmer of the new world? The 90-day deadline is ticking. Your stability is a countdown. Confirm the transaction. Enter the agency.